Hello folks, L.A. Little here with TA Today, and what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you how I set up each morning for my day trades. The first thing I do is I look at the daily chart and I use it to define my long-term time frame. Now when I look at this chart, the easiest thing for me is just pull up the retest region so I can see where the swing points and the retest region zones are. And so in this particular example, we can see that there's a couple zones here that are being tested at this particular point in time. For example, you have this swing point high over here. You went up above them on this bar. You got above it and then closed just right under it. And then we got the pullback on Monday and then flat on Tuesday, little doji bars on both. But we're inside this retest region zone. Odds are, after making the push, getting the retest, it's going to continue on. We know that from our just neoclassical probabilities. We also know that if we look at this, it's not extended, right? This thing can go farther. And then if we look over here at the projections on the ABCD targets, we can see all of them are situated higher and they're all activated. And so we have a lot of targets overhead that we're shooting for. So in general, long term, you want to be bullish. Okay, so now let's move down to the daily chart, intraday charts. And for this, I use 30-minute charts and I use 10-minute charts, and I flip down to 2-minute charts when I'm looking for reversals, at particular points. But the first thing you have to do, because I don't do intraday charts on the TA Today site, I'm not doing 5-minute charts or 1-minute bars or whatever, right? So I just use my broker's bars to do that. And it's fairly easy to set up the same thing here. You can take and see that that's a swing point high, right? It's a high because it's and I change the colors. I make it green if it's high. It's a high if it's up there and you get 6 bars without passing it. And then you look for your next one, right? You just make another one and just keep going down. There's another one right here. This is going to be a swing point high. And we're going to have another one down here that just got created. So this one here is going to be a swing point high. Now, I don't usually keep but a couple bars on both sides, on a 30-minute chart. If we get up into here, I'll put this one back in. But at this point, I have those. Now I got to look at my swing point lows. And what do I have here? There's one down here, and I'll change the color again because I use red for the low. And once I get that, then I'll find the next one, and I see another one here. And so you just get, after you do this for a while, you get pretty good at just picking them out fairly easily. Now remember, we always use about 60 bars. And so we've got 5 days here. Actually, we've got 4, we need one more. Let's get the other day in there. And it doesn't change anything, still have the same thing. And so we've got, our charts of 5 days, about 60 bars, and that sets us up for that time frame. Now we also want to have a 10-minute time frame. And this is my time frame from yesterday. I haven't updated it yet. It's got a little bit more than 60 bars on it, and it's 2 days. And if we look at it, I take and make notes to myself as I trade. So this one I've already marked up from yesterday, but we can see things have changed. This one up here is no longer important. We'll just get rid of it. We've got a swing point high here. We got another one there. So we got a bunch of them up here. This one's in play, and nothing's happened to it yet. These were swing point highs that got broken. And so it got broke right here. And once it does, I just exit out so that I know that, once you get a swing point retest region, a bullish retest region that fails, that tells you that whatever was up is now sideways to down. And so it changes your reflection intraday on this time frame. And so I just kind of mark those as I go so that I can keep track of them. So if, as I trade yesterday, I'm looking over it the day before to see what happened. And, do I have a bias of up or down? And so that's how you can set up your, notes and keep track of things. So I have a swing point low here, hasn't broken yet. There's another one right down below it and one below that. So I'll just go ahead and throw in the second one here because we're going to open down today, it looks like. Current price. I'm doing this on 12/31, New Year's Eve, and it's about a little less than 2 hours before the opening. And so this is pre-open. They're down here testing this low. Now, if we go back and look at the 30-minute chart, we're going to see that that is also inside of the low, or it's below the current low that we have. And here's that again. So here's the 626. You can see there's a swing point low here. So on a 30-minute time frame, if it opens here, it's going to break another swing point low. Now when it does that, that's going to set up a bearish retest regen on this bar right here. And so I will throw in, if that happens, I'll throw in a line so that I know where the top of that bearish retest regen is. If we get back up here and hold it, then that will break that and says that whatever was down is now sideways to up. And so you continually update and keep track of what's happening. So the fact that it's going to open down tells me that I want to be a little careful this morning, because if it breaks this swing point low, then we're going to go way back, right? Potentially all the way down to here. So there's a fairly large drop if you go lower. If you hold here, right, then you still got the sideways thing going on, and we'll have to break a swing point high to get a retest regen the other way. Usually when you break, you're going to come back and test. And so you don't want to be buying breakouts, and you want to be buying breakdowns most of the time, unless you're doing so in a situation where you're breaking on both time frames. And in this particular case, you would be breaking one. There's another one right below it. So, this is kind of no man's land. But if you get below here, and if it sticks and starts to expand, right, it's going to run down to the next one. So that's kind of the way I lay out my plan, right? When I first come in the morning, I mark up the 2 or 3 charts that I'm going to watch. I'm usually watching the Qs, the IWM, and the SPY. I may watch a particular, another stock or two that I'm interested in. Like right now, I'm interested in silver, playing the retraces. But that's what you do. That's your prep. It takes you about 30 minutes at most, and you're prepped and you're ready. You get your mindset and your trading plan together for the day. So hopefully that's useful for you. I would like feedback if these videos are helping, or if there's particular things or questions that you have that I'm not covering. That would be good. Just let me know in the comments below. Subscribe, hit the alert button so that you get these alerts right away. Have a good one. Take care.